He has a 1-1 count. That one's struck high. Left side. That one's going. That's out of here off the race. You have to be kidding me. Fireworks. And here you go. All right, ladies and gentlemen, as we continue, it's state tournament week, and I got to say, we're so excited about it. And one of the storylines that surrounds 3A, 4A state baseball right now is the fact that we get the state baseball tournament for the first time ever in Sioux City, Iowa, which there's a lot of excitement, a lot of stuff drumming up there. But year after year, especially recently, we've seen the eastern side of the state host, and we had teams make the long trip. This time, it's flipped the other way around. And again, it's really interesting because in the first time that state baseball has been here in Sioux City, we get 3 area teams in the tournament. First time that's happened in quite some time. So we wanted to go ahead and have a conversation with a few of the coaches that have, again, taken the long journey, now get the chance to take a short journey and get it in the backyard. But I wanted to also talk with the coaches who have just had phenomenal years as well. And we get the chance to do that right now with Sioux City East. Coach Trevor Miller joining us here on the hotline. And Coach, I got to say, first off, officially, congrats. Making state, never easy. Certainly the gauntlet of a season that you go through is hard enough, so congrats.
Yeah, thank you. It's like we were just talking kind of off camera. It's like it seems like it has gone fast, but now looking back at some of those games early in the year, it seems like a lifetime ago almost. So, been a really cool run, and I'm glad that it's not over yet.
Yeah, and you mentioned that too. I mean, it seemed like, man, both long ago and not that long ago, where you and I were having this interview after the game. You took down Sergeant Bluff Luton, and those are exciting games. Offense galore. There was a lot of fun and energy in those. It seems as though that was not only not gone away, but it has increased that energy. And we've gotten to see you in Omaha, gotten to see you against Heelan, and the energy is just there. And this is a special group, I got to say, because these guys, and Jack Sealer mentioned it beforehand, there are very few times where you get everybody back in the core that they are. And these guys, which, by the way, we've seen them in the PBR Spring League. We've seen them in Spring Leagues way before the season. So these guys have been nonstop baseball. But this is just an energetic group from Claiborne to Thieler, Jepson, Calling. I mean, I'm going down the line, and you can go the entire roster. I know you could, Coach, but this is a special group. And I know that every year there's a special group, but man, I really like these guys. They bring a lot of energy here.
Yeah, that's one of the best ways to describe this group is they're just close, and
Mm-hmm.
they love each other, and yeah, it just obviously like that just that bodes well for us, man, when adversity strikes within a game, but also it makes our practices easy. They still get after it at practice, but
Yep.
um, it just everything we do, they just I don't know, man, they're really close, and when you start talking about championship teams. There's 3 pillars. You got championship talent, which I think maybe we're close to having. Um, you got championship IQ, which I think again we're really close if we don't have both of those already. But then the third pillar that a lot of teams miss out on is that championship culture,
Yep.
and that's one thing that we've challenged the guys to in the last 2 years, and so again with it being the same dudes from last year to this year, it's been really nice. We've been able to just continue that work from last year to this year, and just continue to grow that culture, and I don't know if we'll win a championship, but we got to be about as close to championship culture as you can get.
Oh, I agree 100%. It was interesting. We did our preseason tour, and it was that end of that first week, that Friday. You guys were doing scrimmage, and it was just it again. when you're starting off for practices, guys are still dealing with state track, and all of that. They're going through, and they have all the other things, and the energy was there. It was really fun. These guys made a lot of time, and again, we had a lot of great content from that, and so it was just a fun. And now we get to fast forward all the way here and in Sioux City. And, the fact of the matter is, you guys have gone through that gauntlet. And, one of the things that from talking either to calling Jepson, especially Thieler, and I should say Claiborne as well, they talked about that there is now seems to be, and I don't want to say there hasn't been, Coach, but it seems that there is a lot more eyes, a lot more. There's been a lot of respect for this team, but a lot more eyes on this program now, and a lot more attention. And it just, from the standpoint of I mean, they're winning the games they need to. I mean, this has been a historic year for this team, and you mentioned everything that come back here, but the fact is, we get all this, and now we get to have state in your backyard. And I say, what does that mean for the city of Sioux City, for East? You guys across the program history, anybody in state has had to travel quite a bit just to go to any state event. What does it mean to have it in Sioux City for you guys?
It means a lot, and sometimes it's hard to put in words.
Mm-hmm.
And I think also we're not sure what it's going to look like. I mean, we have this concept in our head of like, oh, this is going to be cool. Like, I don't know. We'll see. I think it's going to be an electric crowd.
Mm-hmm.
I'm lucky enough. I was part of the 2013 run that we had where we played in the state championship, and I still remember the crowd. From Sioux City East that made the trip to Des Moines, and so I kind of think to like, well, if that crowd traveled to or traveled to Des Moines for that game, I can't imagine what the crowd is going to be like, and not just Sioux City East fans, but even North High fans, even West High fans. I'm sure we'll have families and stuff from Bishop Heelan and Sergeant Bluff.
Mm-hmm.
I bet those teams will probably be there to watch us. As
Yep.
we're already making plans as a team. We're going to go watch both Sergeant Bluff and Bishop Heelan as a team, and I'm sure we'll have lots of families go do that as well. So just I think it's going to be a really cool moment for the Siouxland area in terms of a baseball community with everybody, fans, families, players, coaches, and just supporting each other and lifting each other up. And so I'm really excited for that. And I've had lots of people reaching out to me, texting me, and calling me and stuff, and saying, "Oh, don't worry, like we already bought our tickets." So yeah, I think it's gonna be a packed house, and we're excited for it. It's gonna be intense, but it's that's what we signed up for, man. That was what we talked about back in February. We talked about that being one of the things that drove us to work so hard, and
Mm-hmm.
and we wanted to get to this moment, and again, here we are, and now the job's not done. Like, we want to continue to win. However, I caution the guys, like, make sure you enjoy this as well. We've got some local businesses reaching out and wanting to do some stuff with us, and interviews, and Dairy Queen wants to do some stuff with us and give us free ice cream, and we got a whole bunch of restaurants donating a bunch of food for us in the next day or two. And so I just told the guys, like, just enjoy it too. Like, don't get so consumed, and we need to go try to win a state championship, that you don't get to enjoy this week leading up to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it certainly you know, it's once in a it's kind of like a once in a lifetime atmosphere, and absolutely love it. And the fact that you get here, Coach, is really cool. I also got to ask, what has life been like the last couple of days? I know I reached out, and but you said you got a lot of text, a lot of. I mean, what if? Take me through the day after and a couple days after you guys clinch. What was that like? Did you get the chance to relax at all, take a breather? What was going through you and the team's head right after you guys clinched?
So, it's been a decade since East High has qualified for a state tournament. And
Mm-hmm.
so, and also I'll preface all of this by saying, like, I'm not complaining. I have been soaking it up. But I think the night of, we win and we celebrate and dogpile and all that stuff. And then when the dust kind of settles that night, we celebrated as a coaching staff and all the coaches' families and everything. Um, Together that night. And, you know, I think I told somebody at one point, I think I had like 75 text messages come through that night. And I was, very appreciative of everybody, but also I decided I'm gonna, enjoy the time and enjoy the night here. And so I waited
Yep.
until the next morning to start replying. And so then I woke up the next morning and then I think I had 120 text messages. Which is great, and I love it. So I responded to every single one of them. Made sure I told people thank you, or I appreciate it, or whatever. And then obviously like all the interviews, like all the news stations, the KMA, I've had a lot of people reach out to just to talk about stuff. People from Iowa high school, people from the IHSN or whatever the broadcasting the games. They just want to talk and be about it, be a part of it. Which is
Yep.
again, I would love to share anything that we can about East High so that people can kind of get to know us a little bit. Um, I talked to Jack Steeler yesterday. We were kind of
Yep.
talking about some stuff, and he kind of laughed and he goes, "I I kind of feel like a celebrity with how many people have reached out to me." I said that's a good thing, man. I said me too, me too. And so
Yeah.
um, it's just been it's been fast, and we've had a ton of planning to do, and I got a lot of really supportive families, and so we're having this celebration tonight, kind
Mhm.
of a send off, without us leaving, but where we're going to celebrate with all of our families, and then we invited anybody from the public, the community that wants to come be a part of the celebration, and I've got all of a sudden a handful of families in our program just kind of took that, and they planned everything and took it off my plate, which was really, really appreciated.
Uh-huh.
Um, but yeah, just kind of planning all of the time frame stuff, and we're going. Dairy Queen wants to have us out, and so you're just balancing those
Yeah.
times with when you can get there, and we're doing some team meals. We're actually going to do a team meal between the Sergeant Bluff and Heelan game, just to again kind of have some fun for the state tournament. We also want
Yep.
to be there to support Sergeant Bluff and Bishop Heelan as well, and so and then kind of building that time frame for game day. We got to do some different things with we have
Yep.
to take official pictures, and you got to get there certain times, and all that. So dealing with that is it's been new to me. But I love it, and I would, do it every year if it meant making the state tournament. So,
Yeah.
thankful for all the support from everybody.
Well, and uh, one of the things too here is you can see the support. It's been there, and every crowd has been electric, whether it be home or road games. Really, really fun. Uh, but also, as you kind of develop and you start to think and you start to go through and again everything gets planned out here. Um, one of the things that you we talked about way at the beginning of the season is not only the nucleus that this core has, the group, everything that's going on here. But you talked about fighting off diversity and being there, coming for each other. It really seems holistic. It seems like a really again one of the better atmospheres. But this was one that we talked about at the beginning of the season, had a championship caliber atmosphere about it. These guys have really played hard, fast, loose. It's been everything you've wanted and more. Did you? I mean, did you have an inkling when the season started with all these guys coming back that they would not just have a state tournament bound season, but the season that they're having right now, the season that again you're off to one of the best starts that you guys have had over the first third of the season and beyond in nearly a decade, and it's been such a run. Did you ever foresee that all this would happen as we sat there on that Friday at the scrimmage and we talked about it? Did you have any inkling that this kind of season might happen?
Obviously we talked about the possibility and the goal that we set, of
Mm-hmm.
making the state tournament. As a coach, you don't really, look at it and say like, hey, I think we're going to score 400 and, some 400 plus runs. We're going to
Yeah.
hit whatever, however many extras or home runs. Like I guess you don't really look at it like that.
Uh-huh.
So I obviously like I saw that, that hey, we're going to experience some success. We bring everybody back, but the magnitude of the success, the whatever it is, 37 wins. I don't even know. I didn't keep a
Yeah.
track, but just the some of the statistics of some of our kids that are really really incredible. I don't know if I saw that coming, and again, to make the state tournament was our goal.
Mhm.
But again, to make it as the one seed, no, I don't know if I saw that coming. You never know, and again, we just use that as motivation, man. And
Yeah.
again, like I said, the kids have just every time we've challenged them to something, they've just called that, and they've raised us, and they go a little bit over whatever the challenge was, and then we issue a new challenge, and they do the same thing, and they go above and beyond that. And so yeah, I don't know if I saw this finish line, but maybe something similar in the realm. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, and it also speaks to not just East, but the conference. You know, the conference now putting three teams in, and, like at some point, I know that, again, not putting Kurt Heinrich down and all those guys in the basketball world, but man, I don't know, Coach. This really now seems like we've had so much on the baseball front here, and now we get teams in the state tournament. I mean, can we effectively now say that Sioux City and the area has become a baseball city? Can we effectively say that now?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to say that. I don't know. We definitely have good baseball, and like you said, the MRAC has been fun and super competitive, which is what we want. We want it to be
Yep.
competitive, and those are the games that prep us for that type of stuff. But having us and the 4A side, and then Sergeant Bluff and Heelan and the 3A side, like I think that's just a really cool testament to our conference,
Hmm.
and I know a lot of people from outside of our conference think like, oh, the Western side, they don't play anybody, but we faced a kid, we faced a kid that's going to Iowa twice,
Yep.
and then we faced another kid from Heelan that I don't know might go to Iowa, and we played Sergeant Bluff, and they just beat a kid that's going to Iowa. So it is what it is. Like people are gonna just doubt us, but again, we kind of like that. We kind of like using that as motivation. Like our goal this year was to kind of show people what Western Iowa baseball looks like, and I
Hmm.
think they're starting to kind of look at it a little bit like, oh, okay, like this is what Western Iowa baseball looks like. I love it. So that's all we want to do is just show them, what we got over here, and that we
Yeah.
can we can play with anybody.
A last couple of questions here, Coach. I got to ask too. You're obviously you have many hats, and one of those hats includes being a dad. What's the dad hat like? I mean, how do you've done a good job juggling it. How do you juggle, leading this type of group and the success that they have, being a dad and rocking it at both? What's that process been like? How do you what's your advice to anybody out there looking to go into the realm, also being a dad and a coach? How do you navigate those waters the way you've been able to do so?
Yeah, I got to be careful talking about this one because this is I get a little emotional
Yeah.
about this concept, but it just boils down to my wife.
Hmm.
Obviously, like everybody would say their wife is the best and everything, but um, I got an incredible wife, incredible mother. She's so supportive. All the players actually call her the CEO of like Greater Baseball, just because she's
Yep.
so involved and she's so invested in these kids as well. But I got four little kids at home as well, and so yeah, I mean, uh, it would be so easy for her and my kids to kind of just live their life, and then I never see them. Uh, but she is dedicated to involving them and my kids in everything that we do, and so they come to every single game. She runs all. I got three kids in sports. And so she runs them all to all their games if I can't be a part of it, and then they always migrate back to the field. Sometimes she'll leave a kid or two with a relative or a friend at the field while we're playing, while she's running another kid to a different game, and so it
Hmm.
just that's what makes it doable. I don't know if I could do it, not seeing my kids very much or, not going to all their games, but, my wife just truly makes it possible.
Yeah, man, good foundation is good family, and so yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely love that. And then last thing here, is there anything else that you have to do outside of the duties for as being coach? You know, I know that you really talked about wanting Sioux City to really to shine and to showcase. Is there anything that you also have to do outside of that, or do you get to just stick to coaching duties to worry about your team? Or is there other things that you try to do outside of that?
Well, I'm a teacher, so I do that.
Yeah, yeah,
I'm at the high school, which is really good, and that actually helps with some of the stuff and being close to the kids and relationship and seeing them every day and all that.
yep,
Um, but outside of that, like, we're responsible for all of our field work at our field.
yeah,
Every school is different, or every team's different, but like we do everything. We mow, we trim, we do
hmm
dirt work. Me and a couple of my coaches, we just put new bases in, which if you've never done that, that's quite the process. Trying to get stuff measured out and making these big, concrete blocks that go in the ground and stuff. We change out our turf mound and our turf
yep.
plate ourselves. Um, all that. So, we kind of have that. We kind of joke and we tell everybody we're landscapers too, and um, we do not have a youth kind of program right now in the baseball scene.
Uh-huh.
It's something we are kind of actively working on getting started, but so I don't really have anything in that. But we do a youth camp every year because we think youth are the foundation of our
Yep,
program, and
yep,
again, it's kind of a weird concept because it doesn't help us this year or next year, but in terms of longevity of the program, we just think getting youth excited about baseball, getting them with some fundamentals that they maybe wouldn't otherwise experience is really important. And so we do the camp, and we do all that. So that would, yeah, that would kind of be what
yeah,
I do. We run our own concession stands.
yep.
So actually, I turn that over to my parents. They're both retired, and so they just do everything for me, via that. So that's really nice to be able to turn over to them. But yeah, so yeah, we wear many hats, but I got a lot of really supportive people in my life,
Yep.
including all my assistant coaches who all divvy up duties and I think it's a true testament to a good program and an invested community that I could step back or step away and this machine would just keep on running the exact
hmm
same way that it is. So really really proud to be a part of a big community or a big I don't know program like this.
Yeah, no doubt about that. Well, of course, Coach. I'll let you get to it. I know that again, you got the tour, the parade of all these different things, and again, you guys have earned the recognition, earned the right to City East. It has always been a big program, but you guys have continued to showcase and just class. It's a class. I would say to describe you guys. So appreciate the time.
Yeah, we really appreciate the coverage, man. Like what you guys do for these kids, giving them a platform to be seen and heard and stuff is really cool. So we really really appreciate you guys.
Yeah, thank you very much, Coach. And of course, we'll see you in Sioux City. Can't wait here, Coach. A heck of a battle here. Bettendorf on the docket here. I'll let you get to strategizing, and we'll see you then.
Sounds great. We'll see you Tuesday.